Hi, it's Julie from the PMFRC. Thank you for joining us for another Fireside chat. We are very excited to be joining you again. We've got a guest with us today, and we want to talk to you about a new program that we have going called We Are Still Warriors. We've run it once, and we are going to be running it a lot during the year, but we really want to make sure that people know about it. It's a pretty exciting program. We want to make sure that we can have as many people as possible take advantage of it. So we wanted to take some time to have the facilitator join us and have Louise join us and tell us more. But before we talk about the new program, Derek, I want to go over to you. Is there anything that you would like to talk about that's happening at the PMFRC that you think people should know more about?
Yeah, of course. We've always got stuff going on, right? So I'll run through a quick list for you. So tonight we have our mental health walk-in clinic. So like we said, we do that twice a month. Tonight it is happening 4 to 7 at the Family Wellness Center, which is on the north side of the base on Reichwell. So yeah, that's there from 4 to 7. The last intake if you're looking to head there is at 5:30. So we ask that you be there prior to that. We always tell everybody, so if you're new to Petawawa, make sure you drop by the Southside Community Center and say hello. So we want to make sure that we can get you in to talk to our information services team, and we can help you out with all of your questions about settling into the new community or anything that you may need assistance with. And we also have an online version of our welcome package as well. So if you can't make it in, you can always go online and check that out. I think Julie's going to put a link in the comment section for that for us. If you're a family that's looking at deployment or having deployment upcoming, so we've got a bit of an activity box that we have right now for kids that can help out. So that'll help the children out with with any issues they have with deployment. We have a topic in July that's called Connecting from Afar. So again, look for the link in the comment section for that. I think Julie's going to post that. If you're expecting a baby or if you have a child from 0 to 12 months, you may want to have a look at our pre and postnatal program. So we do have a program in place that's an opportunity where you can meet other new and expecting parents, and it gives lots of information about healthy pregnancy in your baby's first year, so anything like that. And then also, if you've got a little one or you've got a child starting school this September or coming up, we have a program right now called Stepping Stones to Kindergarten. So it's a week-long program. It runs every day from 1 to 3:30, starting on July 24th. So the week of July 24th, again, if you have a little guy or a little child or guy or girl, I guess, heading into kindergarten, sign up for that one. And then last, we are going to be running our 1-day 7 habits for highly effective people. I believe we talked about that last week in the Fireside chat. And that's happening next Thursday. So it's coming up quick from 8 to 4. There is still time to register. So if you are interested in that one, make sure you check it out.
Perfect. Jaime Lee, thank you for joining us. Jaime Lee Lightle is the facilitator for this program. And I think before we start and talk about the program, I want to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself, because I think that your background, really lends to this program and your expertise, and sort of the perspective that you come from, I think adds a lot to and lets people know why you are the perfect instructor for this program. So I'm going to sort of hand it over to you, Jaime, if you want to introduce yourself and talk about sort of what your background is with the military and with art.
Sure. Thank you for inviting me to this Fireside chat. Very exciting to be live on Facebook. I'd be happy to talk about my background and what brings me kind of to this project. So I'm an artist and an art therapist, and more importantly for this group, I am a spouse of a Canadian Armed Forces veteran. So that's an important connection, I believe, for this program, is to have that kind of relational understanding. I graduated from Carleton University with a bachelor's degree in Canadian Studies many years ago, and it was kind of more recently where I kind of went in a direction that is more therapeutic with art and that. So I graduated from Toronto Art Therapy Institute in 2022. So now I'm a registered counseling therapist candidate and also a member of the College of Psychotherapists in Ontario. So it took a long journey to get here, but really what really fired me into this kind of creative occupation is really being a witness to the benefits of art and therapeutic arts through my husband, who found art therapy was a very effective self-reflective tool for healing. So I've been really advocating for art therapy since I've met my husband. And so I've been working in the field as an art therapist, both as a student and professional for over 5 years. And I have a passion for collaborating with community groups and doing community-based projects. And right now, not only am I working with the PMFRC, but I'm also working with locally in Nova Scotia, where we're living, working with 7 Arts and Veterans Affairs, and even the GMFRC to provide art therapy for military families, as well as veterans and veteran families. So that's really exciting to be able to develop and design a program that kind of meets with their kind of unique needs. So I'm really excited and honored to be a part of this process.
It is very nice to be working with you as well, Jamie. Jamie is also a former Petawawa resident, so she knows the stomping grounds. She knows the community that we come from, so it's exciting to have her back and working with us again. Yes. Louise, why don't you tell us about the program? What is it? What's the objective? Who are we trying to serve with this program?
So the program will bring together a small group of trauma-exposed CAF members, Canadian Forces members, and veterans. And they're going to explore art as a therapeutic medium. Often when we experience a trauma, it's difficult to put it to words. And when we can't express it, it becomes quite problematic because it becomes PTSD or an OSI. And not a memory. So working through your emotions and working through your experiences with art will help you to express that, which is, it's very important and it's extremely healing. Just having listened to James and his testimonial, it brought goosebumps, and it's just an amazing process. So yeah.
So this is a hands-on program, and it really gives people the opportunity to try things. So I know my first objection whenever someone invites me to an art or a painting thing is my first thought is, I am not artistic. I can't paint, I can't draw, I can't do any of those things. If someone's interested in the program as an overall, but their number one thing is, I don't do art, what do you say to them, Jamie?
Well, that's a phrase I hear all the time. I don't do art, I'm not creative.
And I bet you'd argue with them and say, yes, I bet you are.
So rather than me convincing you how, it's not necessary to have a prerequisite in art, I'll just kind of enunciate some of the testimonials from our last program. So I asked them that same question. I'm like, what would you say to yourself, your past self, before starting this program, or what would you say to any potential participants? And so basically it was really interesting what they said. So one participant said, don't be afraid, go in with an open mind and have fun. Be open. It's a very common testimonial after going through the whole program. And don't let art scare you. Was another thing. Another quote, it's about what you're conveying, not the product. And our imperfection is beautiful. So kind of to cap that off with a quote from an art therapist, Bruce Moon, that I follow, just to paraphrase, he said, the canvas or the drawing or the sculpture is like a two-way mirror. But instead of seeing your reflection, you see how you feel. Art expresses how you feel without words, and art therapy is a process that allows the artist to interpret their creation in a structured and supportive setting. So
I love that, getting that testimonial for people who have been through the program, because probably some of them were also thinking that art was scary. So hearing from them, and it's not about the product. I love that. Louise, we've been through one session already. Can you talk a little bit about what this session is, how long it is, and if someone's signing up or they're on the fence about signing up, what can they expect when they go through? What does it look like? Do they need to have like a lot of art supplies? How does the whole thing shake out?
Absolutely. We keep the group small. We're going for a maximum of 6 people simply because of the sharing and things that might happen in the group. So we want it to be a safe place. So it's 2 hours once a week for 6 sessions, like I said. Oh, I didn't say that, 6 sessions. And Jamie introduces the session, the theme, and the activities. So she usually has an icebreaker at the beginning, just to kind of get the creative juices going. And then we have the main activity. We invite them, the participants, to explore a variety of different mediums. We have everything. I have clay and pencils and decoupage and canvas and paper and stickers and wood and 3-dimensional things, all kinds of things. Paint, anything that you could want. And if there's something there that you would like that's not there, I can get it. So I love that. So just getting your hands dirty, learning things. There's also a time built in for reflection. Now, this reflection can either be, it can be internal reflection. We give everybody a journal so they can write things down, but you also have the opportunity to share if you feel like you would want to. So everything's optional. You don't have to talk about your artwork. You don't have to, share it or anything. But if you would like to, we're very honored when people do share. And we provide all of the materials. And after the first or second session, I'll get to know kind of what people like, and I'll go and get things that feed them, that speak to them. So the last group, we had flowers and cats, and it wasn't just me.
I've known Louise for a very long time, and if there's anybody who knows their craft supplies, it's Louise. Absolutely,
Yeah,
hands
absolutely.
down. So she's that perfect person to have on the ground locally. So you talked about the fact that we've already done a session. Maybe can you each maybe tell me a little bit about what your experience was at that session? Maybe is there a story you'd like to share, just to give people an idea about sort of what they can expect, how it shook out, and how people benefited from it? Because I think when Jamie, when you're sharing those testimonials, it's just so important to hear from the people who have gone through the program as really the best advocates or ambassadors for the next sessions. I'll let you
Sure,
start, Jamie.
I'll start. Thanks. So yeah, as Louise said, every week we have a new kind of invitation to do a different art experiential. So we're inviting different ways of seeing and also different ways of using art material. And I think the highlight of all the sessions is session number 5. Where we invite a veteran and artist to introduce kind of the final project. And that final project is a real look back at, what they've done to that point in the sessions. And I spoke to each participant following that session with that introduction with a peer, and it was so both empowering to them and impactful and powerful to have someone who's been through it, saw the light at the tunnel and is still working on things. And so really to be able to take that experience and then they feel more empowered to finish the project. So that, they're looking at a mask, and Louise will maybe show hers, a mask that is either their ideal persona that they want to bring forward with them as they move on from this experience, and because, they're in a transitory part of life, or honoring the past, or honoring their past identity too. So so the 5th session was really impactful for that reason. So if you want to share your experience with that, Louise.
Oh, I agree 100%. From a layperson's point of view, just the body language and the connection that the participants had with the peer, it still makes me shiver. Like, it was so powerful just to sit back and watch that engagement and the nodding and the understanding that just went back and forth without even saying words. So yeah, the last piece is a mask. So this is mine. It's this part here, the yellow is cracks. I still have to figure out a way of making it so that the light can come through, because I'm quite fond of saying that we're all broken, but the cracks are how we let our light shine through, and other people can see that. And I've been, I wouldn't say cracked, but I've been broken for my whole life. I don't remember not being broken. So one of the things is that sometimes it's hard. It's really hard to just get out of bed and start your day. But I have my cats, and they, at this point in my life, are the reason why some days I do get out of bed, because they'll bite me if I don't, but they need their food. And Jamie invited us to bring something that meant something to you and incorporate it in the art. And you can see the whiskers. Those are my cat's whiskers. And yes, cat people collect their cat's whiskers, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, so I think I'm going to find a way of putting a light cutting through here and putting a light behind it so that the light shines through, and then the eye will, it's tissue paper, so the light will shine through the eye as well.
Makes me think of Leonard Cohen. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
Yes, and that's how it gets out.
So we were able to offer this program because we got a grant from True Patriot Love. And a lot of these organizations, True Patriot Love, those kinds of partnerships really allow us to take the programs that we do offer and bring something extra to it, whether it's the expertise of someone like Jamie, it's the art supplies that maybe somebody can't necessarily bring, but they're really going to benefit from. Derek, can you talk about how those types of partnerships and how those organizations really can help the MFRC?
Yeah, for sure. Like the MFRC, we're a not-for-profit organization, right? So without funding, we don't exist, right? So we rely on that funding heavily to do what we do, right? So when we get partnerships or organizations like TPL, it allows us to offer these programs, allows us to offer new programs. It allows us to enhance what we have, right? Without these extra organizations chipping in, we may be limited in what we can do and what we can offer, right? So, we're always looking at our clients and how they're changing and what their needs are, and it changes all the time, right? So when we find a new program or we find something new that maybe is need out there or something that we want, we may not always be able to offer it. But when we have partnerships like this and we have the TPL grant, we can look at doing this. We can try stuff like this. We can see what's going to work and what helps, and if there's value out there. So I always want to say we're so appreciative, and we're so, happy with the partnerships we have, and we make sure that, that people like Louise who get to work with them and get to enjoy being able to do this and offer this in our community. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do it, right?
And I think it's important to mention that if you're not sure if this program is for you and you're looking for something, there are so many supports out there, either through the MFRC or other organizations. Reach out. If this isn't the program for you, we can help you find a program that is for you. Please don't sit at home and not get the support because you're not necessarily sure. Someone like Louise is there to help you sort of connect with other organizations. If you're doing this art program and something comes to the surface, we're going to help you connect with the people that you need to connect with to talk those things through. It's not just 6 weeks and we're done. There's going to be a lot of support to make sure that that you get the assistance that you need. And I think that's something that's just so important to these two people as they offer this program, that people are going to get those supports. And this is just really one avenue to be able to do that exploration. Before we go, Louise, talk to us about how somebody registers, how somebody finds out more. Also the fact that there's a lot of different sessions. So if someone's not necessarily sure if they can register it for this session, can they talk to you about getting on the list for anything coming up for the rest of the year?
Absolutely. The best way of reaching me is through email, vfp@petawawa.mfrc.com. Hello. And I just want to say, if you're not sure, try it. Because if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. You won't hurt our feelings. We'll be really, really happy that you came out and you tried something, and maybe we can connect you with something else that would would suit you better. But yeah, and just, yeah, try, because it's fun. We get dirty, we get little aprons, can make cat masks. It's
When's the
fun.
next session start, Louise?
It's the 24th of August, which is a Thursday night at 5 o'clock. And we're going to be in the, I keep saying the Monsieur Market Mall, but it's the market mall that has the chiropractor in it and employment service. And we're in the employment service training room. Yeah.
Perfect. So
And-
we're going to put all that information, those links. There's a form to register, or you can contact Louise, and we're going to get all that information out there. Jamie, Louise, thank you so much for joining us. We
you.
really appreciate having the chance to talk to you and to connect again. And the program is called We Are Still Warriors. So if you're interested, or if there's somebody in your life that you think could really benefit for this program, pass on Louise's email. We'd be happy to chat with them more, and we can go from there. Have a great day. We look forward to seeing you sometime soon. Bye.